Hello, everybody, and welcome back to round four of the T&E challenge. Um, yeah, we're gonna see another sweet match this time between Derek Davis and Martin. Derek Davis, I believe, uh,
Zenon.
Zenon, yeah, seems to be the order of business for the day. Not only is Zenon the most played deck, but it's also the deck kind of doing the best, right? And also versus a sweet combo deck featuring Cicalas, Cicalas. I don't know.
We'll,
Anyway,
we'll just ask his mother. But yeah,
right.
so right now, so this is actually a pair down. So just in case you're not following along on the battle the three O's are Derek Davis, Thufir Hawat, and Game Grumps. So we figured, if you're undefeated, you should probably be on camera at this point. So we decided to get the Derek Davis match. It's actually a pair down against Marten. So in these smaller tournaments, like every pair down does matter. It sometimes opens up some more slots, but for Martin, it can also be really good because it helps improve your tiebreakers to be winning against people that have more.
Yeah. So, um, how is this gonna match gonna go? I don't know. Because we have the situation where it feels like there's a tiny bit of synergy with like through the unknowns and running back and whatnot. The Okay, so they're in the game. We're gonna check out the mulligans.
Yeah,
We
so
have Derek Davis
I
giving
think
a
the hardest aspect is Vikram. So Vikram, the only answers are from the Combre side are the Krogar Mystic Shackles, and I guess the late game Storm Halt plating. Uh, but that's not much. So I feel like the Vikram's like fairly safe, relatively speaking. So
no lunar claw in this deck.
right,
Which is the
Claw would be.
main, which would be the main answer in Combre for that kind of for Vikram.
Yeah, choosing to play Mystic Shackles instead, maybe valuing just the silence effect or the ability to kill any size unit.
Yep.
Pretty good
Um,
opening hand for Martin, though.
yeah. Turn two Dino Nest.
I feel like we've been saying that
That's all
quite a
you
bit.
need.
Yeah.
It's all you need, right? That's all you need. Um, being the both of the resultant conclaves in hand.
I like that, especially if you draw a like if you draw a
Seat.
C, you still have
Yeah.
the time sigil, but you gain sort of like optionality. Like you want to make sure that you have time, justice.
Right.
And
Um.
this sets up like a pretty good turn, depending on how it goes, of playing the Scale Swarm Patrol, and then being able to not only play your power for the turn, but also connect with the Parliament Elder.
So they draw in Evelina,
Oh, I love this
number two
Combre
in the
deck.
deck.
This Combre deck's great.
Okay, so they get the buff, like you said. Oh, actually, they buff the Dino.
I like
I
that.
guess since it's gonna be stunned, they're gonna actually get a little extra damage this way.
Right, yeah,
Uh,
I think you want to make the Dino a 3/3.
right.
Get out of call the hit range. It's going to get even bigger, so get out of shrivel range, so you can really mess up Derek Davis. Well,
So
I guess that's not true because the Dino Nest was.
they they top decked another Vikram. At this point, you probably just play a
Well,
Vikram, but
I guess that's also an answer
they
that I
gotta think about
overlooked
it.
is that if you have no other units and you Vikram a non-endurance unit, then Syclus gets to kill Vikram, or like through the taunt ability on it.
Right, that's true. I mean, yeah,
This
that's
is
what's gonna
actually going to
happen
be
this
huge,
turn.
yeah. Wow, and this Syclus is going to be huge, a 10/10. Or
And
yeah. So you have to. Oh,
yeah,
sorry, you target yourself. Yeah. Because you don't have the scale swarm. Never mind. In fact, it might even be better that it's smaller because this next Vikram that comes down. Oh wow, I didn't realize it permanently gives it time. I thought it was temp. Wow, that's huge then.
Yeah, they've said this on the last broadcast. They were talking about how they were very reticent about giving a units taunt permanently,
Hmm.
especially for the limited format, but also as you can see here, like this is a very difficult situation um for Derek Davis to handle.
Right, like how are you gonna beat this 10-10 taunt?
Yeah,
But I do
it's
like it on my
basically
legendary cards. Like if it's legendary, I get it.
yeah. I mean, that's the reason why it exists on this card for sure is that it's not going to be a big player in limited and in draft like it you're not going to see it a lot anyway because it's a hard card to cast in general.
Hmm.
Looks like it's basically over. Can you even live this turn? I guess you can. You can go to 1. No, you can't because this comes unstunned. Yeah. You could play this I suppose you could play the Rat King as well as the tutu and
Right.
sacrifice or something. That might work. I think it does, but
Yeah.
still not a tenable situation.
Yeah, I agree with you. This curve on the play was just so killer by Martin. Like the Dino Nest into the Elder, getting the Cyclist out of turn earlier, Gale Swarm Patrol making everything right.
Also control. Definitely going to be a big player in the format. I think. Ooh, okay. Oh, I guess you can dribble something. I could
Yeah.
do the same thing, and then the top deck mystical shackles that puts the nail in the coffin. All right, game 1 goes to Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much how you scripted on the play. And the big turning point, if there was one, was just like this being the Vikram. As I mentioned earlier, just like depending on how the Vikrams play out, a lot of being on the back foot against the turn 2 Dino Nest, like needing to spend your turn 3 just dealing with the Dino Nest that already produced a 1/1 that got pumped by the Scale Swarm Patrol. It kind of just like it's one of those like you died with cards in your hand sort of thing. Like the Xenon deck just couldn't deploy everything in time.
I suppose if the Xena deck had drawn a bit more power that game, maybe it would have. But I actually don't know how much power extra Martin drew in that game because of course they got a at least one Elder hit, right? So yeah,
Right.
it
Uh,
may have just been it
uh,
was just a hard game for the Xena deck side.
so Martin's hand is a little bit worse in terms of starting. Like the plating is pretty far ahead.
Yep.
Um,
We still have the turn 2 Dino Nest though, so
yeah, yeah, it'll hold you over hopefully.
ooh, Grumbo. Do they play the Grumbo?
I think you got an
Nah.
S first.
Yeah, you do. You do Nest first. I think that's unfortunately, losing out on value under Grumbo. Bad.
So how do you feel about this one? So you can play Scale Swarm Patrol, or you can
Right.
hold it to be able to play it with the power to guarantee that you're making it bigger, but then that's at the cost of being able to play a 3 or 4 drop next turn.
Mm, is the +1/+1 worth it to lose out on the power for the turn? I don't know. Derek Davis does have some answers to it, right? Including the shrivel in their hand that they just drew, but also like any other. Of course, the Vikram can deal with it, but not this turn. Yeah, it was probably relatively safe to play that. Of course, they got punished by the shrivel, but I think that it was correct to play it.
It's tough. I think I would have waited, not because I saw how it turned out, but I think I would have waited because I think the pumps on top of your deck with Unleash are just so good. So like the Parliament Elders and Hill clans, if you ever get to unleash those, or sorry, if you ever get to get the pump onto those, like I don't know,
Interesting.
I'm just trying to think about how the game plays out like 5 turns, but it's
Davis goes for the Grumble play. They want to get this value off of the racking. Be able to kill one of them. They're going to be able to racking another next turn. Probably pretty good. I was thinking about playing the racking that turn in order to
mhm.
get a head start on getting rid of these these dinos, but I don't think it would have. If you're gonna use the call to hit, then it probably was better to do it this way.
I agree with this play. I think it's good. Like the Derek Davis chose.
Yep. A top deck dismantle.
Well, the Nest of Silence from the Argentport Noble.
Oh, that's true.
It's tricky. I wish they would replace the art with like a little X on it on top of it. And it's
Yeah,
a
in game, I
silence.
would have. Of course, I would have checked, or maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe I would have.
I
Maybe I would just would have killed it, and
well
it would have been pretty embarrassing.
Well, it is true. I actually wish from like a UI standpoint, like unfortunately we use a number on the relic to signify how many relics they have. I wish when they had one, they had like a different color one or maybe a smaller number. I actually like lost a match at Worlds because I thought Dino Nest was going off a turn sooner than it actually was, but I didn't realize I ramped with like Haria. So I just like was like, oh yeah, I have 5 power. It must be going off because they played as soon as possible. You know, I could have also just been. So pretty sweet play here, just being able to take all the material,
Yeah.
playing the display. So the dino's normally a 1/1 with a -1/-1. It was only being kept up by the Sheltered Valley.
And Martin draws the. Okay, so, ooh, so Derek Davis decides to lay out this. Of course, I mean, is it actually going to get punished because the Grumbo grows and they're going to be at a very low life total? But they they won't be able to just take out this plating. I think it's probably lethal though. They do it like this. They gain 8 health. Kill the Grumbo and the 4/4.
Yeah, well, you don't even have to view it as like killing or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like you can
Cool.
still sum, like it's the same as if you attacked because they attack your weapon back. So it's 15 random
Yeah.
play. Okay, so we're going to a game three. It'll be interesting to see how the role that Dino Nest plays. I personally hope that we have a match where neither player draws Dino Nest and really
Yeah,
see how
yeah. I think that
how
would
the
be
rest of it
nice.
lines up. Yeah.
I mean, it's still very much a powerful card.
Mhm.
Which is crazy to think about that this card was double nerfed and is still seeing seeing and influencing at least this metagame, if not Throne as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Oh, we just learned about Inscribe.
yeah.
I actually don't click any of the bubbles, and Amsabek gets very upset every time.
I'd get pretty upset too. I don't know.
Wait, I like them. I like that the bubbles serve as a constant reminder that I have a lot to learn, and I can just click on them, learn at any point.
But you won't learn on unless you click on them. And
Yes, that everything is a learning opportunity. I rest my case.
also,
All right, so
I'm
we
the
have.
kind of person who has who never has any packs as well. I don't know. I gotta click.
I do open all my packs, so I guess I'm in the middle. So we see good response to the Dino Nest. It does take up your whole next turn, but we've seen
Yes.
the impact of Dino Nest in the last 2 games, so it's definitely worth it here.
Yep. Okay, so they play the 2/2 out, so they can trade with the 3/2. They're gonna offer the trade, and it's gonna happen. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's just something that's always happening. It's not like you have any like tricks or like small things that would make it better for you, except
yeah,
for the fact that you did have Scale Swarm Patrol, so you know you're playing Patrol and another power if you're not playing
right.
Magna Ventress. We
And now
might
you kind
actually
of
see. Sorry, you go.
well, they might play the okay. They're gonna play the Magna Ventures this turn, but I was thinking maybe they'd play the Skeleton Patrol so they get a little bit of value out of it, because of
Yeah,
course they don't have power in their hand beyond this. But yeah,
yeah. So, uh, maybe ironically, but maybe appropriately, the nerf to Scale Swarm Patrol not being able to describe it could actually come up here.
that's true. That is true. I forgot. That's kind of a weird card to have inscribe on.
Yeah, I feel
Uh,
like I might have inscribed more Scale Swarm patrols than I've seen else since. Um, just like allow you to keep so many more of your first 7.
yeah. Um. So of course the nerf also to Magna Venture coming up here potentially with this shrivel. I think that's probably what's going to happen. I don't know if Derek Davis is thinking about whether or not they want to, well, what they're going to do with this Waystone Igniter this turn, right? Of course, if they play the Waystone Igniter this turn in contract, they won't be able to play a 5/5 next turn, but they don't have that option. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, this play was another option. Oh, so not contracting that. But so the problem is if you make a 4/3, your deck is actually pretty decent against Celeste's Choice, except you also have these Krogars in your so it's an interesting situation.
That was potentially a misclick. Hmm.
I don't feel like Derek Davis would. But it happens, maybe. Right, so
Okay.
call the hit, not allowing the Krogar to be played this turn, which would be pretty nice on a Scale Swarm, but giving you some small options between just playing it to kill something. Maybe you can use the Rat King to shrink the Scale Swarm Patrol, or you could just shrivel the Scale Swarm Patrol, clear the board, and slam and jam.
The space here, they're probably gonna block the.
The 1/1's interesting.
Yeah. That we kind of priced into sacrificing this 2/1, yeah. And they didn't even get any extra value off it. They didn't use the shrivel. Yeah. I mean,
You like just 2 spelling
not,
from Marten?
yeah. This is already silenced, right? Yeah. Let's not make that mistake again.
The Rat King isn't.
So they get to silence this. Necessarily like making that trade. But
I think it's fine. I get it.
I want to lose my Rat King, man.
Yeah.
If I draw another Rat King, it's ooh, more Dino Nests.
Wow. I don't think that Nest could have been played any faster.
Honestly, it might have been better to play the quicker.
Yeah, we're gonna see Cyclist here, right? And with the Krogar in hand, you know that you have Vikram covered, so you can just focus just on the Cyclist being
yeah.
the nastiest hacker.
All right, so it hits it. Now 10-10. What's the response to Derek Davis? Doesn't look like there
Is
is a
10/10 more or less than? I'm just asking for Calden.
just, just asking for based upon some maybe some relevant information in hand. Yeah.
Well, 1-0 in binary.
Yeah. I've there's this sweet card trick that uses the ternary number system that
Oh,
I learned
really?
how to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. We're gonna have to talk about that one during the break. Right, so yeah, it looks like just like man, if only Derek Davis had some slightly. Oh wait. So Derek Davis can just play double shrivel and call the hit.
Double shrivel and called hit. Oh no. Well, not oh no, but like this is sick. Well, I mean, it has to be done, kind of, right? Is
Yeah,
this?
like well, you don't
He's
know that.
coming to the realization. He's like, oh, I have to do this. Oh
Well,
no.
the alternative is that you off like 2 dinos in the Scale Swarm Patrol, and you say like, "I'm just dead if you can answer Vikram, and I have to draw Vikram." Like, what does a
Yeah.
winning game even look like for Derek Davis?
Okay, they're going for the Scalestone Patrol and just like offing some dinosaurs.
I think I agree. I think the only
Okay.
way you win is by stealing the cliff.
Yep.
Because like if you steal the Cyclist and you're able to take enough like damage to be able to start attacking back with the Cyclist, then you start eating one of their things every. I think it's the only yeah. It's what a winning game looks like. And then Marten being aware of
Yeah.
that, holding on to this Krogar. So I love the awareness from both players. And even though it didn't turn out, even though the Vikram didn't come out yet, like I think this is both players playing optimally.
Um, getting it almost into plating range would be another another problem for Derek Davis. But we answer these things one at a time. Okay, so it's actually just lethal this turn. They killed the 3/3 and I mean, Cicalis becomes a 20/20, right, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it doubles.
Okay.
So the first card I've ever wanted to craft in Eternal, but I still haven't because it's legendary, is like the original Sycilus, like the pledge one. That's like I love those types of cards, but for some reason I still haven't crafted it.
Is that a rare?
And I'm pretty sure it's a legendary. I would have
Okay.
crafted it if it was maybe like with 60%
Um, the
certainty.
first time I won money from an open was with Cicalis.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Wow.
with the pledge deck.
All right, great. So we're gonna bring you another match real quick. Uh, Eventually. But so Theo, how has life been for you since winning Worlds? Did you get the check yet? Did they mail you one of the big ones?
That would have been sick, right?
Yeah,
Oh, they
a trophy? Did they mail you a trophy or anything?
imagine. You know, in Storybook Brawl, they're gonna take them to the Bahamas. I don't know.
Hmm.
That's like or wherever. Oh, Dominican maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're definitely going to a resort. Ah, imagine.
it's
Oh,
okay.
they sick.
So
No.
focusing on what we have here though. So we have Zhou and a bunch of still strongholds. That's interesting
That's
combination.
that's uh that's the combo right there. And there's I don't think there's much way for Daskar to come back from this. Maybe.
Daskar's deck, other than exactly like Vikram, like you can't just rely on Vikram for everything. But it's like, how do you actually answer a Zhou even without the stronghold? Like you don't actually have that many good answers,
Yeah.
and maybe that's
Oh,
part.
they do have the they did have a Vikram in their void,
Hmm.
which they get to answer. Wait.
Oh, because I had
Oh.
charge, that's why it was bigger.
Oh, so we didn't see that.
Oh wow,
Damn.
Daskar pulling out victory from the jaws of defeat.
That is that's some sick that is a sick lethal right there. Well,
Yeah,
yeah. That they
awesome.
would not have lived the next turn.
Yeah, pew 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 pew. Yeah. So we'll see if we can bring up another match, but we're kind of just humming right along. Challenge 7. So here we have
Okay.
Jez,
Yeah.
2718, playing against the
Uh,
name's cut off, but I'll figure it.
Camel Milk.
It's Camel Mill.
Boring Xenon versus
Pretty cool Praxis.
a very aggressive Praxis.
I like this.
I'm
I
looking
don't
at
even know
here.
what's called the 4 drop that sometimes has flying that draws to.
Yeah, that card's very good. Basically, like a crafty occultist, right? That you
Yeah.
can.
So,
It's more easily splashable.
so what's great about it is that by having 3 power, it gets to play around call to hit. So I like that a lot.
That is a feature of today for sure. Is that there's a lot of call to hits being played. So if you can play around call to hit, it's generally very favorable for you.
Oh wow.
Um,
Yeah. So
let's
this deck is
see.
actually very interesting. So Camel Milk's deck is like an Ageless Mentor deck,
Okay, so
and
are
it
they gonna
has
sacrifice
a
it?
lot
They
of
are gonna
fives.
sacrifice it, even though that next turn they could have yeah attacked attacked for a lot of damage. I know that Camel Milk has some answers in the deck, including for String Fist. But I
Camel
interrupted you.
Milk,
Go ahead.
Camel Milk's deck has, what is it, 25 5 drops. That's a lot.
That's a lot of 5 drop.
But I think the punchline is you're trying. So it has 4 Wyatts, so that's inscribed, so maybe it doesn't count as much. But you also have Riva, and if you can have a buffed up Riva from Ageless Mentor, then you can just play 2 5s on 5. I think that's the punchline. That's what they're trying to go.
Um, Searing Fist coming out for Camel Milk, which is of course what Jez was playing around when they sacrificed the Phoenix. Have they drawn any of their? They have not drawn any of their cards yet. Sacrificed.
Oh,
Take a block
silencing
here.
the void is actually like relevant ability against the Xenon deck since they typically play through the unknown.
Right. Definitely gets rid of the abilities. It's still the unknown is still okay, especially since this Nahid's Faithful is gonna come back still fairly large. No lifesteal though. All right.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Wait. So
and this has
because the Solus
endurance
has
too.
endurance, yeah. So you
They
can
can
actually
they can
hit the 5
hit
4
5/4
and
and
get
then
all
make them
their
discard
cards.
their hand.
Yeah, you just get all of them. Oh my god, that's such a turnaround for Jazz. And you got this Evelina attack. Oh wow! I
Yep.
don't even know if Camel
The
Milk can come back from that.
we'll see for sure. Um, right now it is 1-1. Players have reported some of their games. Yep. This attack. One of the ways that Jez could lose is by dropping down to a life total and then, like attacking. Let's say they attacked with their Grumbo, even though it has flying, can block a Phoenix. Like they could lose to something like that. But oh jeez, this double damage 5/5 coming out
With
because of the
Overwhelm too.
yeah, with this because of the
Phoenix.
sacrifice of the Phoenix.
Solus might just be too little, too late.
It silences, but even a charged Zito. Let's go. Ow.
I mean, Camel Milk's deck's pretty sweet, but the Solus was exactly what Jazz needed to be able to clean everything up. I think that might be it. So let's see how the top of the standings looks. So it looks like Ufir Hawat, the lone 4-0. So great, team misplay member, hype. And then we have a string of 3-1. So we have DQ Doggo, Game Grump, Derek Davis, Marten, Daskar, Sono, and Jez 2718. So still, in the thick of it. Next round's the last round, if I recall correctly, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
All right.
It was a 5-rounder.
Yeah, we're gonna see stuff start shaping up, but it looks like some X2s are gonna make it. So so be sure to hydrate, get your get your beverages, maybe stretch and stuff like that. But we're gonna cut to a quick break, and we'll be back shortly.